So the face pull is a movement I'm a really big fan of, and it's also a great excuse to use your lighter kettlebells if you don't have something like gymnastics rings to allow you to do them in the body weight fashion. So what you're going to do with these, again, you want to go very light with these. Even your moderate kettlebells are probably not going to be the right tool for the job. I'm using 25 pounds in this case, which for me is really not a lot, but for this movement, it's pretty noticeable. So one of the things that you're going to want to do is, if you have the lightest kettlebell you have, or perhaps even a dumbbell or some other small weight, is going to be a pretty good idea, okay? Now, one of the things that's important is that the range of motion does not have to be anything extreme. So what you'll see me do, for example, is I'm coming here, I'm going to pull up to about there. Kettlebell's not going much higher than this, okay? So the important part is that I'm getting the proper muscles engaged. It's pretty likely that this muscle here, your upper trap, is going to want to do a lot of work. If that's the case, you would just want to make sure that you're not shrugging the shoulder up. It should be pulled back. So not here, but here, okay? So from the side, you're going to come up like this, like so. I'll show you once from the front. Same thing, and you notice my back is staying flat as I'm doing it. So I get to here, pull up, like so. You're going to notice it also comes out slightly at an angle. So it may not come directly upward. It's going to come slightly out. It's very normal. Another option that you have, if you know how to do them, is to do a kettlebell high pull. So I'll demonstrate just very quickly with this, but you'll notice that the path is going to be very similar, okay? So from here, just like so. The only drawback to those is that you're just going to have to do a lot more full body work, and it's really not a drawback if you think about it. It's kind of a perk. So you have the option, all right, and that will allow you to use heavier kettlebells. So if you don't have light enough kettlebells to do the face pulls, you're more than welcome to do the high pull. Enjoy. With face pulls and in fact a lot of other things with the upper body, the upper traps often get a little bit over-recruited. So one way to make sure that they are staying at bay and that they're not overtaking everything that you do, particularly with a movement like face pulls, is to do a little bit of stretching for them because they might get recruited quite a bit, at least initially while you're doing these. So these are going to come in quite handy. And essentially what you're going to do is you're going to grab onto, I'm using a pole here, but you can use a sturdy door frame as well. And what I'll do is I'll grab on, I keep my shoulder down so I'm not shrugging my shoulder up. It's down just like this. Try to get my head straight up and down, so I'm not necessarily in this position. If you can't do that, that's perfectly fine. This will work. This is a little bit better. Okay, and then from here, what I'll do is I'll take the other hand, I'll push into it a little bit, and I'll do some neck nods, just like so. So you'll feel some nice stretching in the traps, and I'll show you from the other direction just so you can see. So I get into position right here, right? And once again, doing some nodding up and down, like so. Enjoy.